Thank you, Dr. Haddad. And I just have to say, I completely agree with all of the statements you've just made. And I'm going to assume that from all of the great talks we've already heard today, we agree with you that we need electronic health records to deliver interoperability. And that means structured, computable data that can be aggregated at a scale required to build a learning health system. I think this over and over again is what we've heard a call for today. So to do this, we have to meet some core requirements. The first, as Dr. Haddad has already said so clearly, we need a standard format for the data. We have to compare apples to apples, and we have to have data that can be easily shared and aggregated at scale, because only at scale will we obtain the quantity of data that we need to address very important issues such as disparities. Second, we not only need the data structures, we need complete data. Today, when EHR data are aggregated, many important elements are missing. And why are they missing? It's already been stated today. They're missing because they're included in the clinical note in unstructured formats. This should be no surprise to any of us. This is how we all, certainly my generation, learned how to communicate about our patients. We put it in a text-based note, and we've just transferred that procedure over to the EHR. That doesn't work when it comes to creating structured data. And some of the very most important data are stuck right now in our EHRs in the structured note. We have to find a way to structure it. So in summary, we need methods to record structured data in the EHR, and we need to have tools that allow us to do this so that we do not contribute to provider burden, or even better, we actually reduce provider burden. So what have we done so far? Travis Osterman, who chairs the M-Code Technical Review Group, already described M-Code to you earlier today. This initiative distilled down the enormous world of oncology clinical data elements to a core set that a very diverse committee felt were required, the minimal common data elements required to care for a patient with cancer. M-Code includes 6 domains: patient demographics, an overall health assessment like comorbidities, performance status, the disease being considered, the cancer itself, its stage, and any markers that define it, cancer-related treatment, both medical, surgical, and radiation oncology, outcomes assessments, disease status during treatment and survival, for instance, and then finally a sixth special category for genomics, recognizing the incredible complexity and increasing importance of genomics, but also this opportunity to do it right from the beginning in being able to structure these important data elements coming from the labs. M-Code was first launched in May 2019 within the HL7 structure. It is now standard for trial use 2, which was published in January 2022. So next, we have a data standard M-Code. It is minimal, it is core, but it will not succeed unless it serves the needs of oncologists and our patients. It can't succeed as a top-down approach. It will die. So since its release in 2019, M-Code has been tested and refined by a community of oncologists with a use case approach that evaluates M-Code's effectiveness and work, and also through working with EHR vendors to build the tools required to acquire data in M-Code format. So earlier today, Larry Shulman gave you all the example of the airline cockpit, how the airline industry achieved a remarkable safety record. How did they do this? They did it by competitor airline companies working together to develop safety systems and share safety data. Well, it was no coincidence that MITRE Corporation, a federally funded research and development center that also championed the systems that led to airline safety, have been providing key strategic support to the Oncology Committee for the development of MCODE. MITRE contributed the first essential tool for MCODE once the standard was released. This is the MCODE Plus Extractor. It's a software application that maps data in an EHR, any EHR, to MCODE FHIR-based elements and permits extraction from the EHR. MITRE also manages Codex, a FHIR accelerator that engages the broad community to develop tools to facilitate data entry through use case approaches. In other words, to refine and drive adoption of MCODE by putting it into use by meeting the needs of the user community, which is us and our patients. And so some examples of these use cases are clinical trials, prior authorization, clinical pathways, cancer registry reporting, implementing risk evaluation and mitigation strategies for risky therapies, clinical trials matching, et cetera. All the things we've been talking about today as urgent needs. Finally, let me just say that the core principles of both MCODE and Codex, its adoption and utilization arm, are to be responsive to patient, first, provider, and health system needs, especially the need for more efficient clinical documentation that is interoperable and can be shared at scale. The oncology community has come a long way in the past 3 years since MCODE was first launched. Innovation across many fronts is currently driving tool development to make collection of complete standardized computable data possible. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And now let me hand this over to Jeremy Warner from Vanderbilt University.